Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait, can we calm down for just 1 minute? For less than 1 minute!
Okay, I know you saw the thumbnail, you read the title, and some of you Red Dead Online fans already have your torches and pitchforks out. But hear me out, I'm one of you. Despite the title of this video, I actually like Red Dead Online. I've had a ton of fun with this game over the years, and I genuinely value the time I've spent on it. Now with that all being said, Rockstar still should never have made it. If you boot up Red Dead Online today, it wouldn't take long to realize the game is all but abandoned. I mean, the last major update was almost 5 years ago. The playbase has been dwindling to say the least, and Rockstar themselves admitted that they were pretty much done making content for the game back in July 2022, leaving Red Dead Online fans everywhere high and dry. Now, this wasn't a case of a game that died before it found its footing. This was always going to happen. In fact, I would argue that Red Dead Online was doomed long before it ever even came out. But to understand why, we first must go back to the release of GTA Online.
What we do here is go back.
I'm sure everyone here knows what GTA Online is. It's literally one of the biggest online games ever created. This game has known success since its launch in 2013, with so many people trying to play the game that Rockstar had to scramble to find more servers just to keep it running, with limited success.
Doesn't even say waiting for other players now it just says loading. Now it's three different errors we've gotten. This one says loading. Oh my god, this even worse music! Even worse fucking music than before, no!
But that was just its starting point. The game has become Rockstar's biggest cash cow thanks to its kinda scummy, but effective game design. It's pretty simple. First, you make everything super expensive, like nothing can be reasonably priced. Then, you make earning money extremely tedious by having every mission follow the same formula. Start at point A, drive to point B, pick up an item, drive back to point A. Then, you offer a way to skip the grind entirely by selling shark cards. Lastly, profit. Okay, so calling this effective was a huge understatement. It's more like very effective. Thanks to a massive leak revealing Take-Two's financial records from a few months ago, we now know that GTA Online has raked in $5 billion since launch. So of course, when Rockstar released Red Dead Redemption 2, they wanted to make another online mode that followed GTA Online's exact strategy. Just swap out pistols for revolvers, Mustangs for Mustangs, and shark cards for gold bars, and you got another $1 billion hit on your hands. Except, we already know that didn't happen. You see, this approach had one fatal flaw. Rockstar failed to realize that GTA Online players and Red Dead Online players are not the same audience. Just a quick comparison between GTA 5 and RDR2 makes that pretty clear. GTA 5 is a fast-paced, action-packed sandbox, while RDR2 is a slow cowboy simulator that prides itself on its realism almost to a fault. I mean, there's tons of people who never even finished the story's introduction because they found it too boring. Meanwhile, I doubt anybody had trouble getting through the North Yankton heist. This is a game that forces you to clean your guns, brush your horse, and loot each individual enemy. So do you know what happens when the audience that loves the slow pacing of RDR2 boots up Red Dead Online and they're told they need 25 gold to become a moonshiner? They don't reach for their wallets, they'll just grind for the gold. And this isn't just a theory I have. Nobody was buying these gold bars. And thanks to those leaks I mentioned earlier, we know exactly how much money Red Dead Online was generating. Between June 2024 and March 2026, Red Dead Online averaged $500,000 in revenue a week. To put that into perspective, GTA Online makes over double that every single day. With all that laid out, there's no wonder why Rockstar decided to leave Red Dead Online in the dust. Admittedly, Rockstar's failure to effectively monetize Red Dead Online wasn't the game's only issue. Whether it was launching with virtually no content or Rockstar ignoring fan suggestions to improve the game, there were a ton of structural problems working against Red Dead Online. However, getting into all that escapes the scope of this video, but there are plenty of great videos that break down the downfall of Red Dead Online. In fact, I'll link some of my favorites in the description for you guys. With that said, Rockstar trying to copy and paste their monetization strategy into a game where it was never going to work is the main reason we're left where we are today, with a failed online game and a disappointed fan base that knows they'll never get a new update. But what if none of this ever happened? And I don't mean what if Red Dead Online was a massive success. I mean what if it was never even made in the first place? Because while Rockstar couldn't figure out how to get players to buy gold bars, there was a mountain of easy money sitting right in front of them that went completely completely ignored. Of course, I'm talking about single-player DLC. Now, there's been some pretty amazing ideas for DLCs floating around the internet for years, and I wanted to showcase some of the absolute best ideas the community has come up with, just to show how much of a missed opportunity this was for Rockstar and fans. I'm sure once you hear some of these ideas, you'll not only be wishing they actually got made, but you'll be left wondering how a multi-billion-dollar company could look at this much creative potential and just walk away. Alright, let's get the most obvious one out of the way. Undead Nightmare 2. This one really hurts because the existing systems in RDR2 would have meshed so perfectly with a survival horror setting. A core mechanic of Undead Nightmare is ammo scarcity. In the original, that boiled down to you looting ammo from zombies in specific crates in towns. But just imagine how that could have been expanded upon with RDR2's crafting system, like having to scour a zombie-infested town for materials to craft ammo. Then there's the camp system that could have been transformed into a base building system. Instead of buying a chicken coop, you're upgrading defenses, trying to keep the gang alive. And if they really wanted to lean into the realism, Undead Nightmare 2 could have been something closer to Project Zomboid, maybe by making eating and drinking a necessity for your survival, forcing you to again search towns or forage the woods for food. Not to mention how great the combat could have been. With RDR2's decent variety of melee weapons and detailed dismemberment physics, taking down zombies as Arthur Morgan would have been an absolute blast, and it definitely would have been better than using that janky torch from the original. Next up, we're getting into a rapid fire round. I found this post on Reddit and it suggested some certified bangers. First, we got a Cowboys vs. Aliens DLC. I can only imagine the crazy futuristic weapons they could have added with this. Plus, Rockstar usually puts alien stuff in their games, and I don't think they did for Red Dead 2, so this could be kind of a redemption for them. Next, we got, quote, Legendary Creatures Hunting DLC. Now, I don't know whether that means adding more legendary animals or going down a full supernatural route with cryptids like the Jackalope or Bigfoot, or why not just do both?
Both? Both is good.
Next, we're stepping away from the spooky stuff and looking at more grounded story expansion ideas. And there's actually a pretty good bit of these here. I know, what a crazy concept. Players want more story from one of the most critically acclaimed story games of all time. Like, seriously, Rockstar, what are you guys doing? Oh yeah, fair point. First up on the story list, a Blackwater Heist DLC. To be honest, I don't really know how I feel about this one. I think the Blackwater Heist is supposed to be this mysterious thing that you only get to learn bits and pieces about as Arthur.
What really went down back there on that boat? We missed you. That's what happened.
And I think drawing back that curtain might ruin some of its allure. I mean, that mystery goes all the way back to Red Dead 1, so I'm not sure how willing Rockstar would be to fully reveal what went down there. However, it's definitely a subject the Red Dead fanbase would have paid to learn more about. Up next, a Sadie Adler and Charles Smith expansion. These are two fan-favorite characters, and they're some of the only gang members whose stories could reasonably be continued. I believe Sadie even mentions that she's going down to South America near the end of the game, so a DLC following her bounty hunting exploits down south could have even come with a whole map expansion, something I'm sure everybody would have loved to see. There's a lot more great ideas here, and I'll leave the link to the original Reddit post in the description if you guys want to check it out. But to finish off this section, I want to show one more DLC idea. Now, I didn't find this one on Reddit, but in a YouTube comment section. And the second it graced my eyes, I knew it had to make it into this video. I don't think summarizing it will do it justice, so I'm just going to read it to you verbatim. From Skyrim Kid 9800. From Skyrim Kid 9800, quote, Rockstar could have literally done a paranormal DLC with bounties set by the US government on monsters, a vampire in Saint Denis, a skinwalker in New Austin, a Wendigo in the Grizzlies, a witch in Amberino, cultists in the woods near Strawberry, voodoo zombies in the swamps. Now, how metal does that sound? Arthur Morgan hunting down monsters like he's Van fucking Helsing, all sanctioned by the United States government? Just take my money already. And if you'd give me the privilege, Skyrim Kid 9800, I would like to add your amazing idea. First off, a werewolf put into this mix would fit in perfectly. With that, silver bullets, and hear me out, a crossbow. And really, I think people would have purchased a DLC like this. Just look at this video about hunting for Bigfoot in RDR2. It got 1.3 million views, and Bigfoot isn't even in the game. But as fun as it is to talk about what could have been, we have to remember that we didn't get zombies, aliens, or story expansions that would have made Rockstar millions. Instead, we got an abandoned online mode that was destined to fail. This was just a lose-lose situation for everyone involved. So what's the moral of the story? Well, in an ideal world, Rockstar would look at the failure of Red Dead Online and realize that single-player DLC is still a viable option for them. But realistically, it's been 16 years since their last single-player DLC, and I don't see them making one anytime soon. GTA 6 Online is definitely their main focus, and from a business standpoint, you really can't even blame them. There are people who are going to buy GTA 6 strictly to play the online, and I have no doubt doubt that it'll clear millions, if not billions, when it launches. But coming from someone who enjoys their story games, it's frustrating that they have this either-or mindset. But hey, maybe we'll get some story expansions when RDR3 comes out in, I don't know, 2040. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more breakdowns like this, check out my video on how GTA 5's villains ruin its best ending. Thanks for watching.